All right, guys, what's up? We are live here on the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen, and this is live horror stream for the return. So this week we are going to have a special guest, and that is Hellhound from the Horror Metal channel. And we're going to talk about some horror and we're going to talk about some metal because I just happen to love heavy metal as well. So we're going to send Hellhound the invite here. I want to make sure everything's going all right. And I want to make sure I am live here on YouTube and that I'm not having any issues here. All right. Let's see. Do I see myself? I want to wait. There I am. So I guess it's working. All right, guys. We are here live on the live horror stream for the return, live at the Horror Corner. So welcome, guys. This is kind of an impromptu live stream. This is basically to help out Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel because he's going to be our special guest this weekend as well on our Halloween show for the Horror Hangouts Live. That's October 21st. Sunday at 6 p.m. we are doing the Horror Hangout live stream with Lisa Loves, Horrific Nightmares JM, Dave Maggot, Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies, and I'm not sure if Movie Massacre is going to make it. I don't think he is going to be able to, but we will be having those folks with us for sure. So, all right, now I'm going to send the invite to Hellhound from HorrorMetal channel to join us here on the Horror Corner. So bear with me as I try and get this going. Hope you're ready, dude, because we're doing it. We are live. All right, dude, I sent you the invite, and I'm also going to post a link to your Facebook Messenger, so hopefully you'll get that, all right? All right. So hope you're waiting in the wings here, because we're live, buddy. All right, here we go. I'm posting it. I'm on your Messenger right now, and I'm posting the link to come and join me here at the Horror Corner. Bam, there we go. So check your Messenger, buddy, because it's in there. So how is everybody out there on YouTube land? Oh, we got Horrific Nightmares JM in the house. I'm looking at the chat now. What's up, brother? He's watching Halloween 2 on AMC right now. Hell freaking yeah. They may be retconning it, but it is what it is. I still freaking love Halloween 2. That's right, from 1981, not that Rob Zombie bullshit. Any of you guys who love Rob Zombie's Halloween, more power to you. I just can't do it. I respect what he was trying to do. I just can't agree with it. A lot of the decisions he made. Me too, bro. Horrific Nightmares JM says. Thanks for joining us here, Jason. So I'm waiting for HorrorMetal, Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel to join us. I sent him the link on Facebook Messenger, and he's kind of trying to test the waters of live streaming because he's had some issues recently, with, I guess, with the Wi-Fi and stuff. So we're trying to work out the kinks here. So we are live here at the Horror Corner. And I'm supposed to be having HorrorMetal as our special guest. So this is the live horror stream 4, folks. This is the return. Just a fun thing I like. They just blew him up. Nightmare Jam says. Oh, was that Ben Schramer when he... Stop! Stop! As Dr. Loomis yells. Is it him? Is it him or not? As Sheriff Brackett says. I like when they look at his crusty, burned carcass at the hospital, and dude's checking his to try and identify the body. Oh, oh, so you're right at the end. Dr. Loomis blew up. Yeah. Okay, so you're right at the end. The hospital, big hospital finale with Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis. That's such a classic scene, isn't it? It's time, Michael. So awesome. So, guys, I got my tickets. Showcase Cinema. Halloween, baby. Bam! 4 tickets to paradise, as Eddie Money says. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. I always thought that was a really cool song for the movie. It's kind of weird out of left field, but it totally works, doesn't it? I mean, they use it again in H2O, if you remember. I love that song. It goes so well with the movie, because we always see the boogeyman in our dreams, so it's appropriate, I think. So, Hellhound, you around, buddy? What's going on? Let me check Facebook, see if he's around. If he didn't forget. Where are you, buddy? We're here live. It's 1 o'clock now. All right, it just turned 1, so we'll cut you some slack. I guess I'm rushing. I went on a few minutes early there. So we're waiting for Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel to join us. We're going to talk some horror and we're going to talk some heavy metal because he is an expert on heavy metal and I am a big fan of heavy metal as well. So we're going to talk some horror, we're going to talk some music, we're going to talk about the new Halloween film coming out, which I'm going to see tonight, which means today. And I am just freaking out in anticipation. Horrific Nightmares GM says I'm going tomorrow morning with my wife in the morning and going to see a horror movie. I guess it doesn't matter to you. You can watch a horror movie any time of day. I could too, actually. I can watch horror movies all damn day. Horrific Nightmares says, be right back, brother. Oh, you made it. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, man?
All right, I can hear you too. So, all right, everybody, welcome Mr. Hellhound from the Horror and Metal channel.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're quite welcome. This is the live horror stream for the return over at the Horror Corner. So, you made it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope it lasts. I hope I don't lose my connection.
But so you far, think so you're going to be able to hold the connection all right?
I hope so. So far, so good. So
good.
Made it this far. Usually
so what time is it where you are right now?
1 o'clock.
Oh, it's the same. Where do you live, in Michigan or something?
Virginia.
All right. I'm only in Massachusetts.
Yeah. I'm in Virginia right now, but
I see. We just had Horrific Nightmares JM in the house in the chat room.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Shout out. He was watching Halloween 2 on AMC.
Oh, good choice. I'll be
Hell
seeing the
yeah.
newer one later today around 7. Can't wait.
Me too.
You're seeing it today?
Yeah, tonight at
Hell yeah.
7.
Yeah, we both got to make a reaction video for sure.
Hell yeah. Right here.
Excited. Nice. I haven't got my tickets yet, but
You didn't get your
I'm
ticket
going
yet?
to here soon. Not yet, but I will here soon.
No.
I doubt it'll be sold out in
It's
this
gonna sell out?
small town that I'm currently in. What's that?
You're not afraid it's gonna sell out?
I hope not.
What's funny is I've been watching all these reviews and stuff, and I'm like, I shouldn't be watching this.
I avoided them. I avoided them like the plague. I did not want to get it spoiled for me. My buddy Doctor Guts, which I do that other show, I Into the Pit. He told me it was really good. He was telling me about it, and I was just kind of like, I was kind of like cutting the conversation short because I didn't want things spoiled. Not that I think he would, but I don't want to know anything about it.
That's good. You got strong willpower.
Yeah, I've been avoiding all the reviews. All I've heard so far is that it's really good. So my expectations are really high. To
That's
me,
good.
Halloween 2 from 1981 will always be the proper continuation. I don't care how good this movie is; that'll always be the proper follow up to me. But I'm sure I'll still love this one, even if it's better. Even if it's a better movie somehow, which I kind of doubt. Halloween 2 will still always be the true follow up, in my opinion, because it
I
fits so
feel
well with the first one.
I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Like no matter how good it is, and I hope it is, I really do. There never is gonna be a better continuation of that way you had.
Exactly. And
You know,
again,
where you
even if the on a slim chance that this one's even better than that movie, Halloween 2 just feels like a companion piece to part one. And Dr. Loomis is in it, and it picks up right where the first one left off. So it just feels like such a perfect continuation. But for me, this movie will be kind of more like a what if scenario. But at least
Yeah,
at
that's a
least for
good
now,
point.
my opinion might change. Who knows?
That's a good point, because they're retconning the whole thing. It is like an
Yeah.
alternate timeline.
Exactly. It's like a what if, he got shot and got captured, and as opposed to escaping or whatever. Now I'm kind of glad it doesn't follow Halloween 2, only because then I think the movie would feel too much like H2O. I think that's like one big thing that differentiates it. And also, truth be told, I never cared for the fact that they were siblings, and now we're able to start fresh. We're able to kind of get rid of that subplot. I just never cared for that myself. I know I'm probably in the minority, but. To me, it makes Michael Myers scarier. He's targeting random victims instead of having a motive and going after his bloodline. Just my personal preference.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. I actually was a fan of it, but I
Yeah.
think I'm more in the minority saying that.
Well,
Seems
I mean,
like a lot
it
of
did kind
people.
of fit for that continuity. Like for part 4 and 5, Jamie Lloyd, that's his niece, that's Laurie Strode's daughter. So it kind of fit like with that. I think it fit now. But I'm kind of glad that we have another scenario where it's like, what if they weren't siblings? It wasn't like a bad thing. I just think it makes him a little scarier. Like basically, if Michael Myers is real, if I'm not related to him and if I stay out of his way, I'm safe. It's just like it made him a little scarier that he was just targeting random people, and he saw her through the keyhole or the viewing hole in his house, and then he just said, I want to kill her and all her friends, just for no reason.
Yeah, but what about now where it's 40 years later and the only movie that counts as the first one? You think, he's just fixated on her because she's the one
Well,
that
she's the one that
got
got away.
away?
She's the one victim that escaped his killing spree. She's the one that got away. Either that, or maybe she'll come to him. Maybe she tracks him down and wants to destroy him for good. Wants to, the man that's plagued her nightmares for so many years, for 4 decades. Maybe she wants to put an end to it. Again, I don't know how they're going to go with it. I didn't watch the most recent trailer. I watched the very first trailer. I didn't see the newest one, so yeah, I hardly know anything about this movie. I do know that it pays homage to the third film with the Halloween mask, which is really cool. But I avoided reading like anything about it, so I'm gonna go in like with a completely open mind, and
Yeah.
have no prior
Luck-
knowledge hardly.
Luckily, a lot of the views I read and saw were non-spoilers, so
Yeah, me too.
I haven't got any spoilers yet, so that's good.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anybody say they hate the new movie yet either. It's been mostly praised, from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's
They
got
haven't
like,
seen it.
I don't know how much you put into it, but it's got a pretty good score on Rotten Tomatoes, like
Yeah,
85%.
that's pretty good. So,
Yeah.
what do you think? What angle do you think it'll be? Myers facing Louis Strode facing Myers again. What do you think? What's your take on how they're going to go about that, or how they should go about it?
I think what you were saying is probably would be more interesting if she. Well, we know that he escaped from the
Yeah,
asylum, but will he go right after her, or does he just want to create a havoc and rampage anywhere he goes? Or is he fixating on her or not? I don't know.
yeah. She's the victim that got away. But I think it would be interesting, like if he just starts his killing spree, starts another massacre, and then she hears about it, and then she goes and confronts him. I think that would be an interesting way to go about it. But
Yeah, I agree.
hard to say. I'm really glad this is working, by the way. I'm really looking forward to the 21st. I didn't put an announcement on my channel yet because I wasn't sure if it
Yeah.
was going to work. But now that it's well, hopefully going to work, I'm going to put an announcement on my channel. So make sure all my viewers will be sure to check that out and put a link to your channel and stuff.
Oh, good.
This is
You gonna
definitely
do a
something we
little
should do more
promo?
often too. Yeah. This is definitely something we should do
Good.
more often too. Me and you, or me, you, and Bronco. I know that Lisa loves Movie Massacre, and one other person whose name escapes me at the moment does that thing, Three from the Grave. It's three of them. I
Movie
would love to do something like
Massacre.
that with, yeah, Movie Massacre, Lisa loves, and then there's somebody else.
Uh,
Um,
Strange Monkey.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Monty G, I guess, or
Hmm.
but that'd be cool if me, you, and Bronco did something like that.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I think that'd be awesome. Definitely something to
What could we
make
do?
people feel
What
better.
could we do with it? You know.
It would have to be on your channel though, since I still am unable to host these things. Now that I have
So
the
you
app
haven't
though,
been able to. You
yeah, I
haven't
just
been
now,
able to do. Hmm.
well, I mean, I just now downloaded the Google Hangouts app specifically for this. I literally did it like a minute before this video. So now that I have that, maybe I'd be able to host these parties. And now that the live thing's actually working, so I haven't tried it yet, but maybe. I mean, that'd be great. But I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me whose channel it's on, just as long as
Hey, you're still getting your channel
whoever's
out
watching.
there.
Yeah.
Do you have any things you want to plug for your channel while we're here? Feel
What's
free.
that?
Do you have any things you want to plug on your channel? Things you have coming up, or
Oh well, I guess just
you there?
yeah, that was
All right, there
weird.
you go. I can see you now.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got a notification on my iPad. I need to turn those off when I do these things. I got a notification and it interrupted the stream. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess just anybody watching, yeah, check out my channel, Horror Metal. I haven't done a video
So
in a while, other than my recent loathsome lore.
and what was that
Been so
about?
busy. Just showing off some of my recent purchases. Some Vincent Price movies that I didn't own yet for whatever reason. Some Herschel Gordon Lewis stuff, and then I showed off my new Halloween costume. I'm going to be a Ghostbuster. So.
I did see that. I saw your
Yeah,
Ghostbusters thing.
yeah, yeah. That was only the
That's
only
awesome.
video I've made so far in like the last week or so.
That's an awesome costume.
Thanks. Weirdly enough, they cost me like 60 something dollars, and then I went to another store and they actually had a different one for 40, and the proton pack looked a lot better, but it didn't have the name tags. Like the one I bought comes with all four name tags of each of the guys. You know, Vinkman, Spengler, stance in Zedmore. So I was like, I think I made the right choice because you got to have the name tag, you know.
I
I
think
like
I
the
haven't
material though.
seen I haven't seen Ghostbusters since like freaking 1990s.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I've seen that movie probably more than I've seen my reflection in the mirror.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite non-horror films, I'd say. One of my favorite non-horror franchises.
It
I love the
definitely is a
cartoon as
cool,
well.
like, yeah. It's like a
Absolutely.
cool kind of horror based family movie that
Yeah, it's
anybody
got
can
kind of a
watch.
horror theme, you know, supernatural theme, ghosts and monsters and demons.
Right. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, Marshmallow Man. So creative, you know.
I like when Sigourney Weaver, she gets like possessed or something.
Yes, she gets possessed by Zool. And like one of my
Yes.
only like not really a complaint, but one of my only like something I think about every time I watch it is yeah, when she gets possessed by the terror dog, which I guess they're known as, she becomes like all
Yeah.
like seductive and sexy and her personality changes. But when Rick Moranis' character, Louis Tully, gets possessed by Vince Clortho, the other terror dog, he still retains his clumsy, dorky personality. So it was like, was that
Yeah.
demon that possessed him happened to be a dork too? Because that'd be hilarious. Like,
It's
just, you know, like he was still kind of the same, like, you know.
a good point. He's Derek Dorky no matter what. All right, so we have Horrific Nightmares in the chat saying I haven't seen it for quite some time. And we also have Brad Underwood in the chat. And Brad says he just subbed to your channel, Hellhound. So welcome, Brad,
I'm back.
to the chat. All right, so we got the first topic out of the way. Now I wanted to talk something about heavy metal. I got a question for
Oh, right. I've got a lot to say about that.
you. Hellhound, our expert in heavy metal.
Thank you. You got a pretty great, pretty extensive knowledge of heavy metal as well. I was actually surprised with how great taste in music that you have. I had no idea until somewhat recently.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm obsessed with music.
Absolutely.
Of course, I'm not a
Awesome.
musician like you.
Oh yeah, I'm not very good though, truth be told, but I try.
Oh, you've been in bands, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, I've been in a lot of bands, but uh, you know, it's fun. Mostly do it for fun, you know.
That's great. Movie Massacre is also a guitarist, and he
That's
loves
right.
metal and everything.
And I
Yeah,
think Bronco said he played drums too.
yeah, yeah. That's right. He loves metal too.
Yeah, he does.
Brad Underwood says he loves Old Kiss.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jason says metal rules.
Damn right.
All right, so the question I wanted to ask is, you know how Metallica has been releasing the remastered editions of, Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning and the Master of Puppets.
Mhm.
Now, here we are about to come out is And Justice for All.
Oh
Now,
yeah, that's right.
the controversy about that album, right, with
The
Jason
bass.
Newsted and the bass. Do
Hmm.
you think they're going to use it in this remastered edition?
With the bass track.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, when I first found out that like James and Lars were hazing Jason Newsted, you know, because he's not Cliff Burton, and they mixed out the bass track, I was really surprised that they would like that initiating him into the band was more important than what the fans were hearing and what their vision, what their music sounded like. So I was like weird. It was like they mixed the bass out just to show him you're not Cliff Burton, you're not one of us yet, or whatever. And like, wow, what a it's a very very surprising, very strange thing to do. So yeah, I kind of hope that they do retain the. I hope you can hear the bass more. I hope it's more audible this time. 'Cause that's one of my main complaints
Yeah.
about that album. I mean, I think that album is very it's not nearly as good as the three that preceded it. Like not even close. It was kind of like the beginning of the end. You know, kind of the downward slope. It's still good. I still like Injustice for All a lot. But it was kind of you could kind of tell like they were kind of losing their charm.
Hmm. Good point. I don't know. I always liked it, but you're right. I agree. There's no topping those first three. Absolute masterpieces. Like Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. My personal favorite is Ride the Lightning.
I'm sorry, I lost connection. I just got back. What were you saying?
So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. The first three are just absolute
Yeah,
masterpieces.
they haven't even come close to touching those first three yet, in my opinion.
That's that's tough for anyone to top that,
Yeah, no doubt.
especially themselves.
Yeah.
How long can you keep beating yourself?
Did you say your favorite was Ride the Lightning?
Yes, that's my
Good
personal
choice. I
favorite.
think that's probably the heaviest. I think that's the heaviest album they ever did. I love it.
It's very thrashy.
Yeah, for sure. It's a close one between that and Kill 'Em All for me. It's a really close one.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people would
It's
say
a Kill
Master of
'Em All.
Puppets, but
Yeah,
oh
probably
yeah.
Kill 'Em All would be the most influential to
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely.
movement. Without that, you probably wouldn't have like Slayer and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that kind
oh,
of
so I thought it was a real dick move what they did there with Jason. The
yeah, no
like,
doubt.
he probably busted his ass, trying
For
to
sure. I mean, he had
live
some
up
big shoes to
to what
fill.
Cliff did. Mm.
Yeah, Cliff was a one of a kind, and then I know that nobody will ever top him, but really, I mean, it's not Jason's fault. He had a very he had big shoes to fill, and he did a very admirable job. And like they were, I don't know, they could have been a little more supportive, but you know, there might have been more to it. Who knows?
Like that's not it's something to joke about.
But yeah, I know.
Probably
But
worked hard on that.
yeah, Newstead's an adequate player too. I mean, he definitely gets the job done. He's I wouldn't say he's like a virtuoso, but he's really good. He's kind of underrated actually.
Oh yeah, I thought he's solid. He did a lot of good work with him. Even if you
Hmm.
listen to like that one they did before Justice, the EP, the 598 EP, or
Oh,
there's a lot of good.
Garage Days revisited, or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But there's a lot of good bass on that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
He's
you
really
can
good.
hear it.
Oh yeah, the guy can definitely play.
Yeah. All right. Next question I had was Slayer's retirement. What do you think? You think it's gonna stick? You think it's real?
Well, didn't they do this before? Like, didn't they say that they were retiring like a few years ago, or was that
There was
somebody else?
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now supposedly I guess it's for good. I mean, if it's true, I mean, I'm really sorry to see them go. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? They might return. They might make a comeback or whatever. I'm very sorry to see them go, but I gotta say, it really isn't the same band that it was. I love Gary Holt from Exodus. He's one of my favorite guitarists, and he fits in with Slayer very, very well. I
He
mean,
does.
they couldn't have picked a better replacement, but that's just it. You can't really replace Jeff Hanneman. You could get somebody who um, is technically like even more skilled, but it's just Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King have that very unique style of playing. They have that signature sound that only they can do. And I know a lot of like elitist guitarists say Slayer lacks good guitar playing. They're not that good.
Who the hell
I
says that?
disagree. Yeah, exactly. First of all, I disagree. Second of all, even if that was true, it doesn't matter. They have their own signature sound, and nobody else sounds like them. Yeah, they're Slayer. Their solos are kind of sloppy and unstructured, but that's what I like. They sound violent and chaotic, exactly what I would expect from a band like Slayer. Um, so
Yeah,
as much as I love Gary
absolutely.
Holt, and Dave Lombardo's gone too. Paul Bosteff's a great drummer as well. He's replaced Lombardo before. He's been in the band before, but it's not the same without Hanneman and Lombardo. They were just such a huge part of that sound.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
Even if
basically
they're
everything.
really good, even if they're really good replacements, it's just that
Yeah,
they're the replacements,
and they
not
got a
the
good
original.
replacement. I mean, some people
Yeah,
say that Gary Holt is way more skilled than Jeff Hanneman, and but even if it's true, at the same time, it just it's such a distinct style. It's just hard to replicate that. But
and
I
can he
liked Rick
write
Hitlis.
songs like Jeff Hanneman did? You know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. He was like pretty much their main songwriter, I believe, but as for the music anyway. I think. Yeah, he
That's
was
the
a hell of
thing.
a
He's such a
songwriter.
great songwriter on top of
Yeah,
being a great guitarist.
absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, Exodus is great too. They had some
Oh
great
gosh,
albums.
yeah, yeah. They're amazing. Yeah, Gary Holt's one of my favorite guitarists ever. He's a hell of a songwriter too, for sure. But yeah, I'm sad to see him go. And but if they decided not to retire and kept putting out music, that'd be great too. That'd be excellent. Even though it's not the same band as it was, I'm just still glad that there's a Slayer out there. I'm glad that I saw both incarnations live. I'm glad I saw them with Jeff and Dave, and I'm glad I saw them with Gary too. So
Yeah,
obviously, I
completely
wish that he
agree on that.
never. Yeah,
What did you think of that last one, the Repentless or whatever it was?
it was pretty good. I mean, I thought it was better than Painted Blood, honestly.
Yeah,
And I think that Gary Holt's songwriting, his guitar playing, kind of did breathe new life into the band in some ways. It's not up to par with their classics like Rain and Blood and Show No Mercy and Hell Awaits and hell even South of Heaven and Seasons, but I liked it. It was consistent. With their style, with their sound. Nothing too groundbreaking or I don't think it's really going to turn a lot of heads, but it was good. I thought it was better than some of Megadeth's recent albums. I thought it was. I may have liked it better than Metallica's recent album Hardwired. Maybe I'm not. I don't. I haven't really formulated an opinion on that. But my favorite album for the Big Four is actually For All Kings by Anthrax, which is weird because usually when you look at the other albums, usually Anthrax is like my they put out my least favorite album with along with whatever albums the other three put out that year or whatever. But I thought For All Kings was better than anything the other members of the Big Four did. I thought that was really really good.
yeah, they've been on fire recently. Like
Yeah,
ever
they were
since they got Joey Belladonna back, they've
so
been on
glad they got
fire. I
him
saw
back.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw him
I'm
live a
not a
couple
fan of
times.
I'm not a fan of non Joey Anthrax really. So yeah, he's my
Me
favorite
neither.
thrash metal singer in the world. He's my number one favorite thrash metal singer. So maybe I'm a bit
and
biased.
he can still freaking belt it out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now his voice is a little lower pitched too, so it's almost like he could do everything John Bush could do as well. And his what he used to his high notes that he used to hit and stuff. So yeah, he's an amazing vocalist. So glad they got him back.
Me too. It just feels right, you know.
Yeah,
Feels like real Anthrax, you know.
yeah. So yeah, For All Kings was like I thought that blew all the other albums of the Big Four recently out of the water, in my opinion.
Even Dystopia,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh gosh,
the Grammy winner.
yeah. What was I can't keep. It's hard to keep up with Megadeth because he puts out like a new album like every year. It feels like it's hard to keep up. I know he did one recently that I really didn't like. I think it was Super Collider, and they did one recently that I
Oh
really
yeah.
really liked. And I can't. I keep getting mixed up. Like um, I don't really try really hard to keep track of their recent stuff really, but I probably should. But I get them mixed up because he puts out a new album so often. It feels like every time I turn around, there's a new Megadeth album out, or somebody on the radio is talking about a new one coming out.
Well, it's funny because it seems like every time he goes back to the thrash roots and trying to be like they were in the 80s, then he goes and does like a soft, like a like a more commercial poppy album. It's weird. Have you noticed that? Because like they did, what was the name of that album? I thought it was really good. It was right before Dave Ellison came right back.
United
Endgame.
Abominations.
No, Endgame.
Oh yeah, Endgame. Yeah,
Like I thought that was a
yeah, that's
really
right.
good
Yeah, he
like
came back later than the, yeah, that's right.
yeah. He came back during the Endgame tour.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad he came back as well. It's another musician that I'm glad returned to his roots, returned to his former band.
Yeah, because at least we got two original members.
Yeah, because for a while it just felt like Dave, and it felt like it was just Dave and whatever musicians he could find. It was like a revolving door lineup. I liked it when Dave and David were like the two constants. You know, to me, Megadeth was
Right.
Dave Mustaine and David Ellefson, and then you had all these other
Yeah, they
guys.
did. They did two albums without him, and it
Yeah.
was like just the Dave show. You know.
Well, the system has failed. Was kind of like I think that was supposed to be a Dave Mustaine solo album or something, and like all the musicians he got were like hired guns. Like it was like session musicians because he got Chris Poland from the first two albums. You know, "Killing's My Business" and "Peace Sells." So that was
Yeah, that's
awesome.
true.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just wasn't the same. It didn't really feel like Megadeth. It just felt like you said, like the Dave show. Even though that's pretty much Megadeth is, you know, but it's Dave Mustaine. But David Ellison's
It
just as
is his
important in my
baby.
opinion.
You know,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
definitely his baby.
Oh, absolutely.
I was always hoping they bring back. I was always holding out hope that they bring back Nick Menza and
And Marty
Marty
Friedman.
Friedman
Me
and have
too.
that
Yeah,
rest in
sadly.
peace lineup. You know.
I would have loved that. Yeah, that was my favorite Megadeth lineup. Sadly, Minz is no longer with us. Him and Gar
Yeah.
Samuelson are gone. Gar Samuelson was my second favorite drummer they had. He was in the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marty Friedman has like I don't think he has any interest in really playing metal anymore or thrash metal anyway. So
Yeah. It's too bad.
yeah, I know because he was damn good at it. He's one of my
I'd
favorite guitarists ever. He's easily my
yeah.
top five.
I'd say he's the most skilled out of any of them guitar players from Megadeth
I think he's the
outside.
best. Yeah, I think he's the best guitarist in the Big Four. You know, out of all the members that have been in the Big Four in all bands, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, and Megadeth. Every member that's been in and out of all those bands, I think Friedman's the most talented, in my opinion. I think Megadeth's always had the best guitarists, actually. Friedman and Mustaine, of course, and Poland, and they've always had like the best guitar, I think, for the Big Four.
Yeah, I always go nuts when I hear Hangar 18, like
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, it gets me pumped. I
like
think
the.
Countdown to Extinction's an underrated album.
I love Countdown.
Yeah, like a lot of people talk bad about it, and I actually watched my review that I did of it like maybe 2 years ago, and even I was kind of hard on it. And I was like, man, what was I thinking? I really like that album. The title track is very underrated. But yeah, Hangar 18, yeah, oh gosh, yeah, it's great. Rust in Peace is just a flawless masterpiece. I have nothing negative to say about that album whatsoever.
Absolutely, it's amazing. But yeah, that last like the third act when they do the back and forth solos.
Yes, love it. Yeah, it's
Insane.
great. Yeah, just incredible. It's a testament to the chemistry that Mustaine and Friedman had.
Yeah, yeah.
They really had something strong there, and I don't think like Megadeth's ever really been able to replicate that.
No, they haven't. Now they're all getting old, you know.
Yeah. I'm
I
glad they all put
saw
their
Dave.
differences aside.
Yeah, I saw Dave recently. He's starting to look old. You know?
Yeah, yeah, he's getting up there.
And so who is your favorite metal band?
Black Sabbath.
Ah, the
They
original.
have been for years.
Yeah.
Uh, they pretty much started heavy metal, and they're the godfathers of heavy metal. And I think that they have so many like great songs out of like every metal band. I think Black Sabbath has the biggest amount of great songs out of any of them. You know, and it's not just I'm just talking about Iron Man and Paranoid and War Pigs. I'm talking about Hole in the Sky and Megalomania.
Oh yeah. You can't deny the classics they've come up with. Amazing. Like, I mean, to me, that's the original metal band. You know, the first real metal band. You know, you with us?
Yeah, I'm back. My iPad keeps crashing.
Anyway, I was gonna say, to me, that's the first real metal band. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, there were other bands that were influential in the genre. Obviously, Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, and even going back, the Iron Butterfly and Blue Cheer, Humble Pie, bands like that. But I think Black Sabbath's really the ones
Right.
that Ozzy's eerie vocals and the fact that Tony Iommi had to down tune his guitar after he lost his fingertips, which is a happy accident, made it like so. They're the first band to really have that dark, gloomy edge. Every other band at the time was singing about flower power and stuff like that. Black Sabbath was Black Sabbath started having like occult based lyrics, and they had a lot much darker theme than the other bands. It was like a horror movie in audible format, which is kind of, they even got their name from the movie Black Sabbath with Boris Karloff from
Right.
1963, which I highly recommend. A great movie, great anthology, great Italian horror. Mario Bava, you know.
Believe it or not, I haven't seen that one.
I recommend it. I can't remember which segment it is, but it's the one where this mortician's trying to. There's this dead woman's there's a woman's corpse, and she's trying to I guess she's getting her body prepared for the funeral. Like it keeps like coming alive and has this evil smile. Really creepy stuff. It's one of the scariest things I've ever seen. It's awesome. They were right to choose their name from that movie. It was a good
Nice.
movie.
That's an anthology, isn't it? Like a
Yeah. There's 3 segments, I believe there's 3. But that was the one that really stood out for me. The one with that corpse that kept coming to life with the eerie grin.
Horrific Nightmares says, well, guys, happy this worked. I'll see you and Sean on the 21st. Brad, it was great to meet you and welcome to my channel.
Hell yeah.
And Brad says, you too, Nightmares. This is Brad Underwood. Welcome, Brad. Glad you could join us here in the chat. So anyone who's just tuning in now, where this is the live horror stream for the return at the Horror Corner. And I have my special guest here, Hellhound, from the Horror and Metal channel. I don't know if that's how you do it yourself.
It works, just
do your sign thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have their niche.
Oh yeah, really happy to be here on the Horror Corner as well.
We're happy to have you. Anyway, about continuing about Black Sabbath there. My personal favorite is the Ozzy era. I know a lot of people love Dio, and rightfully so. He was an amazing vocalist, no question about it.
Yeah,
rest in peace. And but yeah, how can you? Ozzy just had such an incredibly distinctive voice that nobody sounds like.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anybody. Yeah. To me, the Ozzy era, the Dio era are pretty much equal. I really can't choose one over the other. I will say the Ozzy era, obviously, there's more great songs only because there are more songs in general. He did 9 albums with them, 9 studio albums, counting the recent one, 13, whereas Dio did technically 4. Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, The Humanizer, and then he did the one under the Heaven and Hell moniker, Devil You Know. There's more Ozzy material than there is Dio material, but to me, they're like 2 different bands. Like Dio, Tony Iommi discovered things that he could do in guitar he never knew he could do when they had Dio in the band. And he even said himself, Ozzy kind of limited them. However, Ozzy's distinctive, eerie vocals really fit their gloomy style. I can't imagine anybody else singing those songs from the Ozzy era. But the Dio Sabbath is incredible as well. And anybody who says, I only listen to the Ozzy era, they're really missing out, because there's some great material. Even even the other stuff, aside from the Ozzy or Dio eras, Tony Martin and, Glenn Hughes and Ian Gillan, it's all great,
Oh, yeah, I never even heard that stuff.
Yeah, Tony Martin's very underrated. That's my 3rd favorite era.
Is that the one? Is that the guy from Deep Purple or whatever?
Well, that was Ian Gillan. He was on Born Again, which was the first. It was the album after Mob Rules. It was the first album to not have either, to not have Ozzy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was the only album he was on. It was a good album. Some good songs, "Disturbing the Priest" and "Trashed," and kind of great. An awesome album cover too. I always loved that album cover. A lot of people hate it, but I think it looks cool. The demonic baby.
Yeah, it is weird though.
Yeah, it is weird.
I remember when the Dehumanizer came out, and
Yeah, 92 or 91.
and it was pretty cool to have Dio back. I was like, it's at least they got some semblance back of what they used to do.
Yeah, I wish he could have stayed longer and did more albums with them, but he had a little bit of an ego on him. I know he's a little hard to work with, but hey,
Yeah,
he had every reason to be. He had every reason to be arrogant because the man was talented.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I worship that man. I idolize him. He was one of my heroes. I was very upset when he died. I think that was the celebrity death that affected me the most out of all of them.
Hmm. I liked some of the. I liked a lot of the stuff he did with Dio. Like the Last in Line. And
Yeah, the Dio band. Oh, absolutely. I love the stuff we did with Rainbow as well, which was with Richie Blackmore, also from Deep Purple. That was before he was with Sabbath. And then there's stuff before Rainbow, Elf, and all that.
Wow, you're a real expert.
I love me some Dio.
Damn. Wow, even before Rainbow, he was in.
Oh, he was in so many bands. Oh man, there was like the Electric Elves and Ronnie and the Redcaps, and oh gosh, he was in so many bands. And pretty much they released a lot of the material, all the bands he was with under the Elf name, like later on. But there was only really one Elf band that he was with, and the Elf band actually became Rainbow because Richie Blackmore wanted to start a band with Dio, and then so he had that every member from Elf except for the guitar player because they replaced him with Richie. So the very first incarnation of Rainbow is pretty much Elf plus Richie Blackmore. But yeah, he was in a lot of bands. Like he's been performing like for decades. Like there's like he has music in like 5 or 6 decades, I believe. Yeah, the man was always putting out good music. Even before metal.
All right, so Brad Underwood says, I gotta go. This was awesome. I'm gonna do a live chat in Halloween night.
Awesome.
I know we're doing the show this Sunday, the October 21st, with Mr. Hellhound from HorrorMetal. Lisa Loves, Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies, Horrific Nightmares JM, and we'll see if Movie Massacre shows up, and also Horror Digest is supposed to be there, and Dave Maggot. And that is going to, and that is going to be our Halloween show. So I don't know from there.
So Brad said he was having a stream on Halloween night.
I don't know. I thought he was asking us that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I guess I was about to say I'll try to check it out, but I've got so much going on Halloween night. Lost for time. The 30th, I'm going to going to see The Fog, the original The Fog from 1980.
In the movies?
Yeah, at the theater. There's a theater about 20 minutes from here. They always play classic movies, which is awesome. I saw the original Halloween there last year, so pretty cool. I saw the original Halloween last year, and now I'm seeing the follow-up this year.
Nice.
The sequel.
I haven't done that. Going seeing classic movies
Yeah.
at the theater.
You've done a lot of pretty cool stuff, though, going to conventions and stuff, I noticed.
Yeah.
Cool. You got to meet some celebrities. That's something I haven't done much of, admittedly. Something I've always wanted to do. Plan on doing someday.
I've only done the one so far, the ScareCon or whatever.
Looks like there's a lot of cool people there, though. Cassandra Peterson. And
yeah.
That'd be really cool to go to.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because before that, I used to just go to the Comic-Cons and the Boston Comic-Con. And I was like, you know what? I love horror. I should be going to horror conventions.
Yeah, for sure.
There's never any around. But...
Yeah, oh yeah, I got the same problem. They hardly ever come around here. I'd have to really travel. I mean, I'm you know, here now. I mean, where I'm from.
You never get any in Virginia, really?
Well, sometimes there's some like in like DC and
Even that's a trip, you know. Still there? Ah, I think I lost you. Still there?
I'm back.
Hellhound, you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
back.
I lost you. I lost you for a second.
Yeah, it keeps crashing.
Wow. Hey, we've been lasted a good while so far. How long has it
Yeah,
been? 45 minutes?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's a record. Usually, it doesn't last 45 seconds.
Be prepared though, because our live streams
Yeah,
last for like 3 hours.
yeah,
Drink some water.
yeah. I'll
And
make
when you
sure
get
this is
all us
recording
horror
this.
maniacs together, we start going on and on.
It's gonna be a good time. Can't wait.
Yeah.
I still
Oh
think me,
well.
you, and Bronco should do something like every month as well, or every few months,
Yes. That would be cool.
or just me and you sometimes, or just or whoever.
Yeah, if we could pin down some day, some kind of date, maybe. I don't know. Unlike this one was kind of random, but it's tough to like pin down a certain day to do every time. Figure out when you're gonna have some time to do this, you know. Pretty busy guys, I'm sure you are as well. You know, you got children, you know, you got a child.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a full time job.
Yeah, I can
I have full
imagine. I
custody
mean,
too, so
mm.
with, not a whole lot of help, honestly. But it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Wouldn't change it for anything. She's my
I
whole
bet.
world.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of the others have kids too, like
Hmm.
Lisa and
Bronco.
Bronco, Hard Digest.
Mhm. You got any little ones?
No, no,
Oh yeah.
not yet. You never know, but
Never know.
I mean, I'm
It's never too late.
43 already, you know,
Yeah.
at this point.
Hey, it's never too late. I had a cousin who had his first child at he was like almost 50. I think he was like late, like maybe 48 or 49. Had his first kid.
Hmm. Really, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, my wife's a little younger than me, so
Yeah.
you never know. I'd like to someday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kids are fun. I love kids. That's what life's all about, in my opinion. I love
Hmm.
kids. I've got a lot of nieces and nephews too that are just awesome.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of young nieces and nephews, and I see them quite
Hmm.
often.
A lot of younger
So
cousins
I'm
as well.
around kids a lot, but just
Yeah.
have never had my own.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Let's see. Another thing I was going to say about. All right, this will be my last metal question.
Hey, I don't mind at all. You
Um,
can keep them coming. I could talk about metal for 5 hours, man. You could have 100 questions, and I'll never get tired of talking about metal.
but the viewers
Keep them
might be
coming.
like, "Why are you talking about metal? You're
Oh
supposed to be horror."
yeah, yeah,
I haven't really done many metal videos, but
yeah.
that could change.
Yeah, my metal related videos don't get nearly as many comments and views as my horror related ones. I think most of my viewers came to my channel for their mutual love of horror, and not many metal heads unless they're also horror fans as well. So
Yeah.
definitely my channel's kind of dominated by the horror thing for that reason. When originally I tended it to kind of be 50-50, horror, metal, obviously it's going to be both, but oh well.
What's your friend's name again that does those shows with you? Then like the metal.
Dr. Guts. Yeah,
What?
I actually joined his band recently. I'm actually playing in his band now. I'm not really an official member yet, so it's not like I'm not like officially in the band, but I've jammed with them 4 times now, and it's going pretty well. So if things turn out, I'll probably be an official member. I'll actually be in his band.
All
Now it's
right.
just kind of a trial run, but yeah, Doctor Guts, and that show is called Into the Pit, and that's pretty much the metal segment of my show. I mean, I do album reviews a lot, but it's fun to talk about
And
metal with another person.
what like type of metal do you play?
Well, this band is pretty much thrash metal, thrash death metal. It's kind of it's like a very very heavy thrash metal band with a lot of death metal elements. And the vocals are like extreme vocals. The vocals are kind of more like black metal shrieks, like the raspy, high pitched screeches a lot of the time. So yeah, we're just kind of
Nice.
experimenting around with stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely a very very heavy metal band. Uh, and I've always wanted to be in a band like that. I've always wanted to be in a band with Doctor Guts. Now a lot of the bands I've been in have been like death metal and thrash metal, but these guys in his band, like they like the exact same music that I do. They have the exact same taste that I do. And I've been in a lot of bands where I kind of had to compromise with other like genres. The other members of the band like
Yeah.
different genres. So, but this one, like we all want the same thing. We all have the same vision. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all really talented. They're really good guys. So
What does he play? Does he do like the vocals? Or...
he's the lead guitarist. And he's way better at guitar than I am. So yeah, he's really, really good. His solos, the riffs that he writes are just incredible. I mean, he's like he's very professional. I wish I could be like his half, like 1/4 as good as him.
I'm sure you must be because he wanted you to be in the band.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe someday. I learned a lot from him too, actually. So
Nice.
he
My
works
brother's
really hard at it. Yeah. I've been playing for like on and off for like almost 15 years. I'm nowhere near as good as I should be. For some
Yeah. Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. There. I'm losing you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You were saying?
Where was I? Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near as good as guitar as I should be for somebody who's been playing 15 years. If somebody's playing 15 years, you'd think they'd be really, really, really good at it. I'm still, you know, nowhere near that on that level. But I'm my own worst critic too. So I've had some people tell me that I'm a lot better than I think I am. But
Have you seen Mr. Dave Maggott's stuff that he did with the?
yeah, he's a vocalist and I
Yeah.
already forgot his band name. But yeah, I checked some of it out. It's very good stuff. Wow. Yeah, he's doing a lot of cool things. He's a vocalist in a band, and he's making movies.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I applaud him for. Uh, he's definitely a doer. He definitely goes and gets things done. He does things he enjoys. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to
It's
be involved
very.
in making a movie.
He's got a lot of ambition.
Yeah, he does.
Can't even imagine doing that. Being in a band, making movies,
Yeah.
doing
Wow.
YouTube videos.
Does he
A lot
have
of work.
kids?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to
Not
say.
sure.
I was about to say if he had
Yeah.
kids,
You probably
that's
wouldn't be
funny.
able to do all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the answer, probably.
Right. Anyway, what I was gonna ask was your thoughts on Dave Mustaine and the ongoing feud that they're continuing to have. Like this recent issue with they were going to release the No Life Till Leather demo, and he got into it with Lars. And
Man, that'd be so cool. I'd love to like own. I'd love to own that. Yeah, I mean they've been have this ongoing feud for so long. Like it's kind of become. Well, they put their differences aside in recent years, and I think they all got older and kind of forgot what they were mad about. And he actually played on stage with them a few times, and they played
Right.
together during a big four. It took years for that was able to happen. They'd always have like three of the bands from the big four, but depending on if Megadeth was there, Metallica wasn't there, and vice versa. And I'm
Right.
glad they finally put that behind. So yeah, now to hear that they're feuding again and they're taking a step back, even if it's over something important, like it's just kind of like a regression. It's kind of like at this point, it's like guys, just can we all just get along? It's like. Um, but I do understand Dave Mustaine's point of view. I mean, they definitely were right for kicking him out because for one thing, there was too many egos in the band. Like Lars and Dave in the same band is just too much, and he was very destructive and very hard to work with. But he wrote some
Right.
of their best songs, and I can understand like him being disappointed that a lot of his songs ended up on the Kill 'Em All record. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of not right. I know he got a songwriting credit, but at the same time not enough people really recognize that. Some people to this day have no idea that Dave Mustaine and even I think a song or two in Ride the Lightning. Um,
Yes, that's
yeah, kind of
right.
sad to hear that they're feuding again and that they're fighting or whatever. I actually wasn't aware of that, by the way. But if it's if that's what's happening again, they're feuding. It's just like
Yeah, because like I said, they're going to release the No Life Till Leather EP, and what happened was Lars wanted writing credit for the songs, even though he didn't write any of it. And Dave wrote. Dave was pissed off. He's like, "I'm not giving you writing credit. I wrote every note of those songs."
yeah, exactly. And I've heard the
And had
versions that he
people
played. I think
argue that. I mean, got a
yeah.
good point.
And I heard the versions of the songs that were recorded that he played on, like the No Life Till Leather demo, and I think some of them sounded even better. I think I like Dave Mustaine better than Kirk Hammett personally. I'm not saying Kirk Hammett isn't skilled or talented, which he definitely is, and actually he's kind of underrated in his own right. Weird to use the word underrated when you're talking about Metallica, um, but I do prefer Dave. I think that his versions of the songs did sound really good, and a lot of times I kind of preferred his solos to Kirk's. In all honesty, and it'll be
And they
interesting.
released that the Mechanics member on their first album. That was like the Four Horsemen, wasn't it? The Mechanics. Oh, losing me again.
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
All
On
right.
the
So I was.
21st, I might try to use a different device. I might try to use my laptop just to be safe.
Yeah. Does that last longer?
Yeah, and I might not have these difficulties.
Hmm. Might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying, remember they released the song "The Mechanics," which was
Yep.
basically the same song as the
Four
Four
Horsemen.
Horsemen.
Yep. That was the early version, and then and that was actually and Megadeth recorded that too on the "Killing Is My Business," their debut album. So it's pretty
Right.
interesting to compare Four Horsemen. I actually like Four Horsemen better, like the way it turned out, because I like James Hetfield's vocals better than Dave Mustaine's, honestly. Um, James Hetfield's not like one of
Yeah.
my favorite vocalists, but I think he's a slightly better singer than Mustaine. Even Mustaine himself admits that he's not really a singer; he just kind of does it because it's his band
Yeah.
and he couldn't find anybody else to do it.
Yeah. He didn't originally plan to be.
Yeah, exactly. It just kind of happened. He couldn't find anybody who could realize his vision, so he's just like, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. James has more of a
Yeah,
strong, powerful voice than.
absolutely. Especially on the first three albums. Yeah, he sounded so pissed off, and it's
Yeah.
perfect for he's
Perfect
young
for
and
thrash.
hungry, and yeah, for sure.
And it was so hungry in those first
Yeah, yeah, they were
albums,
young and
fiery.
yeah. I'm kind of tired of that growl that he does like a lot now. I like the way he
Yeah.
sounded back in the '80s, but I
Right.
still think he's a pretty good singer.
Some of the stuff he does now is a little silly with the
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. After like every
It's a little
he
much
spills it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I had one more topic I wanted to talk about today.
All right.
And now we're gonna get back to the horror part.
Oh yeah. Have a bookends. We have the horror. The horror is the book ending this video, which is cool.
Right. So have you seen the film Hereditary yet? Tony Collette there that everyone's talking about. Yeah. Hello. I lost you again.
I'm sorry, I lost connection. What was the question?
Uh, oh, so I was gonna say, have you seen the movie Hereditary yet?
I haven't, but I plan to. I've
Uh,
heard a lot about it. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody's telling me you're a horror fan. You haven't seen Hereditary, and I tell them the same thing I've said on my channel many times. I don't check out too many of the modern horror films. Every once in a while, and I get to them. I'll get to them, but like I'll watch a new horror movie maybe like once every few months. Like I'm constantly watching the classic horror films. I'm discovering new classic horror films that I haven't seen yet all the time. So after I've watched every single one of them, then I'll really focus on the modern horror. But I do plan to see Hereditary. Get my thoughts on it. I've heard so much about it. I've heard good. I've heard bad. I'm not really sure what to expect. The trailer looked kind of interesting. Looks like something I might find enjoyable. There was a lot of things in it that I found very generic and very reminiscent of the typical recent horror. Like there's this feel that all these new horror movies have, like this tone and like the I don't know, the way the little girl acted and looked, and like the way I don't know, the way everybody acted. Like I feel like it's just so like by the numbers at this point, just so like generic and cliche. Like I feel like every modern horror movie feels like that. But I'll reserve judgment until I actually see the movie. I'm just going by the trailer. I wasn't that impressed, but again, there was things that I definitely thought, okay, I want to see, I want to know more about that. So it's definitely something I'm interested in. So I do need to see it.
yeah, that's
Did you
funny.
watch it?
I'm like the same way. All I want to do
Yeah,
is watch the old classics
yeah,
and
me
all the
too.
old stuff. Watch ones I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I'm
Did
not
you?
really a fan of today's horror
Me
that
neither.
much. But
Every once in a
now
while,
and
there'd
then
be a
there is
gem.
one that comes
Yeah,
along that
there'd be a good
is
one
good.
every once in a while. But mostly the ones I like now are the ones that are kind of a throwback to like the old style, like Hatchet, the Hatchet series. They feel like '80s, like an '80s slasher. Movies like that, I think are I kind of like the Wrong Turn series, even though some of the last ones have been kind of meh. But yeah, Final
I only saw the
Destination.
first one. I love the first one. I haven't seen like two, three, or any of those. Did they measure up to the first one? Yeah. Hello, hello. Testing one, two,
All right,
three.
I'm back.
Testing one,
Sorry.
two, three.
I
There you go.
don't know why it keeps doing that, but I do apologize. Hopefully, I'll get it figured out.
So I was saying, Wrong Turn. I love the
Mm,
first one, but I haven't seen
yes.
any of the sequels.
Oh,
Would you
really?
say they measure up? Or?
I definitely recommend the second one. The second one. Now, I think the first one's probably technically the best, like with the suspense and stuff. The second one kind of is kind of like the first one's kind of has the less is more thing. The second one plays up the gore, the kills. It's more action packed. It's more entertaining. It's more explosive. The first one's a little more like subtle and kind of like it has the simplicity. But the second one kind of is kind of like in your face and But so I definitely recommend the second one. After that, they kind of range from being okay to mediocre to just plain bad. But I don't think any of them really are really great. I don't think any of them are really a masterpiece or anything. But I definitely recommend the first two mostly. But as for like a modern horror, I think that those and the Final Destination.
Oh yeah, I love the Final Destination. Can't beat all those kills. So brutal kills in the Final Destination series, that's for sure. And that's pretty much what it's all about. How they're gonna die in such ways by the death character.
What's that?
I was gonna say the Final Destination. It's all about the kills and how they
Yeah,
die in such
yeah,
crazy ways.
yeah. I think that was a very unique concept. You know, it was a very intricate idea. So that's one of my
It
favorite
was. It really was.
more modern franchises.
It was. They're an original concept for sure.
Absolutely. But yeah,
Like
as I
the
said,
fact
every
that,
once in a while there would be a gym. But did you see Hereditary?
yeah, I do agree with a lot of the people that I don't think it's probably as scary as people say, but
Yeah,
I think the acting in it is just fantastic. Like that's what
yeah.
makes it.
Toni Collette
Tony
is a great
Collette's
actress.
and her performance in this movie is amazing. Like,
Yeah, I'll definitely
and
have to
that's
check it
some
out.
of the last few horrors I've seen have had very good acting. You don't see that too much, in horror.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's good. I'll definitely have to check it out.
yeah,
Well,
I definitely recommend that.
if you recommend it, then I definitely want to see it even more.
Yeah. What about A Quiet Place? Did you see that one?
Haven't seen that yet either, but it's another one on my list. I have this big long list of all these modern horror.
Yeah, that's one I would recommend as well. Similar with the great acting, and you had a lot of great characters, and it was a very cool concept. I'd say A Quiet Place is a lot more original. The story is more original.
Oh yeah.
Well, the story in Hereditary, we kind of have seen similar things, but
Oh.
Quiet Place was a very original and
Oh, good.
excellent
Good.
cast.
Yeah, they're both on my list. Big long list of all these modern horrors I need to see. I'm getting really far behind because there's like a huge pile of them that I need to watch. But there's a lot of old more retro horrors that I need to see as well. Some of the classics that I've seen most of them, but there's still some older ones I need to see, and they kind of come first. Honestly,
Old horror comes first.
damn right.
So what are some of the old ones that you haven't seen that you want
That
to
I haven't
talk about?
seen. Oh man, not many, but uh, well, there's a few of the Herschel Gordon Lewis directed movies I haven't watched yet. I've seen most of his
Uh,
well-known stuff, but there's a few that I haven't seen. I can't remember which ones that I can't remember the names of the
like
ones I haven't watched.
like the nudie cutie one sort of.
Yeah, well, yeah, some of the non-horror ones. There's some of them ones he made I'm not really interested in because
I
uh,
saw one where it was like a couple lesbians or whatever.
oh yeah, he had a lot of stuff like that, like exploitation style.
Yeah, definitely.
But
That's
yeah,
all it
stuff
was
like
about
that.
is lesbian love
Yeah.
and
I'm always discovering like really old like a lot of stuff from like the 30s and 40s that I still haven't seen, and some of the Hammer. I've seen most of the Hammer stuff. There's maybe like a few of those I haven't actually watched yet, but I've probably seen like
me too. I do
95%
see a lot.
of their catalog.
I freaking love Hammer.
Me too. Oh gosh, yeah, Hammer's great. I mean, I have
Yeah,
nothing
there
bad to say
are a
about
lot
Hammer.
that I ha- there are
I
a
have a
lot
lot of
that I
stuff.
haven't seen yet.
Yeah, same here. I've seen most of that. I've probably seen just about all their horror stuff, but yeah, they have a lot of other good stuff too um, that I haven't
Yeah,
watched.
like this. What was it? 1 million BC. I've seen that with the
Oh
Raquel
yeah,
Welch.
yeah,
That's classic.
great stuff.
And I want to see the Quatermass. Is it? I think that was like the first big one.
Oh yeah, probably.
Have you seen Quatermass? So,
Long time ago.
hmm.
Yeah, my dad was a big Hammer horror fan. I watched a lot of those movies with him growing up. There was like a long time ago, my grandma's house. They would come on TV, like they were having like a Hammer marathon or something, and I ended up buying most of them too. So
Awesome.
between that,
I just got on my iTunes I was excited they had the Hammer soundtrack to some of the movies, like
Oh,
Dracula.
really?
And I got it on my iPod.
Awesome.
I'm like jamming Hammer Dracula in my.
That's awesome. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, they have some great soundtracks, great scores with their movies. That's definitely one of their strong points.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So another thing I was gonna ask about is probably be my last topic. The Child's Play remake. What do you think of that?
Yep. I think it's a terrible idea. They're only doing it. They're literally only doing it to make money, and they have no other motivation. They're not trying to make art, or they don't have a vision. They just want it's just a money making thing. Um, Having Chucky without Brad Dourif is a terrible idea. Having the look of the doll, he looks like crap. And I know a lot of people are being optimistic, saying, "Oh, I think it looks pretty good." It's like, come on, don't kid yourselves. It looks like shit. And then, yeah. Well, the thing I hate about remakes is they always remake a movie that was already great to begin with and didn't need any room for improvement. There's a lot of bad movies out there that had a great idea that wasn't executed properly that could benefit from a remake. Unfortunately, I can't think of any on the top of my head at the moment, but I'm sure if I gave it some time, I could come up with a big, huge list of movies that should be remade. But they always remake the classics, and it's only because those are the ones that people will pay to go see. It's just a money making thing. It's just a scheme to make money. And it also pisses me off that they're not going to make a continuation. They're not going to make another movie in that same series. Now I know they're continuing with a TV series, but which is cool. But I'd rather see another movie. But
Yeah.
then again, if the Chucky TV series is anywhere near as good as Ash versus Evil Dead, I'm sure I'm going to dig it. Especially if Don Mancini and crew are behind it. But the remake, terrible idea. Just hurry up and do it. Get it out of your system. Let it find its way to the $5 bin at Walmart, and just forget about it and move on to talk about the real Chucky with Brad Dourif and Don Mancini behind it and everything.
Right.
A remake's never. It's going to be just like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. It's just going to be forgotten, and that one's pretty much universally hated. A lot of people fight
Yeah,
over.
nobody likes that thing.
Yeah, a lot of people fight over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake versus the original. But the Nightmare on Elm Street one, horror fans were pretty much unanimous in that sucked, and that was nowhere near the classic. I've hardly heard anybody say they prefer that to the original, unless they're 10 years old. Um, so yeah, the
It's
Child's Play
almost
remake
like
is a terrible idea.
blasphemy in a way. It's almost like blasphemy to make a Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street
It's
without
sacrilegious.
anyone.
It's just ridiculous.
It is. It really is. He just owns that role. There's just
Yeah,
nobody that.
it's he's synonymous with Freddy. He's known for Freddy and vice versa. When I think of Robert Englund, I think of Freddy. When I think of Freddy, I think of Robert Englund. It'd be like having somebody else play Ash Williams other than Bruce Campbell. It just wouldn't
Oh
work
my god.
because Robert Englund put so much of himself into the character. Like he was just he is Freddy. Like same with Chucky and Brad Dourif. They're synonymous with each other. Even if you have somebody do a perfect 100% imitation of Brad Dourif's voice, it still just be that imitation. It's like Queensryche without Jeff Tate. It's just not something feels
Yeah.
like it
Good
feels like
example.
something's missing. Yeah, yeah, it just doesn't feel right. So I know
Yeah,
they're
I
trying to
know.
do a
Even
different
though,
direction, but
like you said,
I don't
even
mind if
though
they
they
make another
don't
Killer
have,
Doll movie.
right, even though they don't have Jeff T anymore, and he can't sing like he used to,
Yeah,
he still would be better to have him. Yeah.
exactly. Because the guy they have now is good, but he's just an imitation. And like Jeff Tate, he was such a big part of Queensryche. He's pretty much him and Chris DeGarmo were the reason I loved Queensryche. Now they're both gone, so it's just like meh. So same with this Child's
Yeah.
Play reboot. It feels like a soulless cash in. It's just there's no
All it is.
love behind it. There's no passion behind it. It's just just a stupid product of the time. Just like they have to remake everything as a rule, so they're just giving into the rule. Like I thought that like Halloween, the new Halloween and Texas Chainsaw 3D would start a new trend for making sequels to movies that have been remade, not more remakes. We don't need any more remakes. It's irritating that every horror movie has to have. If you're talking about a horror movie, you have to say which version. It's just like it's so annoying. I hate having to do that. So yeah, just
I want
another
to shoot myself every
blizzard.
time I have
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
Halloween 2, 1981,
Yeah. And
just
now
so
it's
people
really
know what I'm
bad.
talking about.
I know. And now that's one of my one complaint about the new one. It's just called.
Yeah, exactly. You would think at least come up with some kind of name for it. Now we got 3 movies called Halloween. Well,
I'm back. Yeah, now we have 3 movies called Halloween. So whenever somebody says,
right.
"Did you watch Halloween?" Which one? The 1978, the 2007, or the 2018? They need to add a subtitle: Halloween Returns or Halloween: The Next Chapter. Don't just call it Halloween. Especially if in this continuity, there's 2 movies. There's Halloween, and then it's follow up 40 years later, all called Halloween. It's like,
And
what
the
is
remake
that?
Halloween.
Yeah. It's like they can't come up with a creative title anymore these days. The same thing with the Rambo series. The 4th one was just called Rambo. It's like,
Yeah. You know they're
that's
doing
original.
another one? They're doing Rambo 5.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That series had weird titles to begin with because First Blood, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, then Rambo 3, then
Is
Rambo.
it
It's like,
Rambo First Blood Part 3?
yeah,
Why
yeah, that's weird.
ditch the First Blood?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's my favorite action movie of all time.
Oh
First
yeah,
Blood.
yeah. I like Rambo First Blood Part 2 a lot as well.
Oh yeah, it's
I
great.
think Sylvester Stallone was even more badass in that one.
Yeah,
But I'm a huge Stallone fan, so
me too. Grew up on Stallone. I watched
same
all of
here.
his movies. I went to the theater to see Rockies,
Oh
all the
yeah,
Rockies and the Rambos,
wow,
like Cobra and all that.
nice. Yeah, he's always
Even
good.
even Tango and Cash, I went to see in the theater.
Yeah, hell, I even kind of like Demolition Man and some of his weaker movies. I still think he's great. I still think he's fun to watch no matter what. He's one of those actors who, like, even if he's in a bad movie, he's still good and he makes the movie better than it would have
True.
been.
Even the bad ones are watchable
Yeah,
because he's
exactly,
good.
because of him.
Didn't like Judge Dredd though.
Yeah, that was quite a departure from the comics.
Yeah.
They broke some pretty obvious rules.
The Cardinal sin in removing his helmet.
Yeah, and I know that if you have Sylvester Stallone if they have the Sylvester Stallone in a movie, there's no way they're going to keep his face covered the whole time. But then there's your answer: don't have Sylvester Stallone play Judge Dredd because
Yeah.
that's like the one obvious rule that you can't break.
Cannot have Judge Dredd without the
Yeah,
helmet on.
yeah,
Come on.
exactly. That's just weird.
I like
Oh,
the newer one from a few
yeah,
years ago.
Dredd with Carl Urban.
I was hoping they would do a sequel, but I guess that's not
Yeah,
going to
me
happen.
too. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was a lot more accurate to the source material than the Stallone one, that's for sure.
And there's a lot more they could do with it still, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they probably would have a bigger budget, I would think.
Absolutely.
You could put in all the other judges in there.
Yeah.
Judge Death.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, it felt a lot more like a dystopian future, and the Stallone one had kind of a cheap quality to it.
Yeah.
The newer one was.
And it didn't help having stupid, what was his name? Rob Ian, cracking jokes the whole time. Rob Schneider. He pretty much ruined the whole thing. I mean, it's more than that wrong with it, but
I'm back. Seems like every 5 minutes this thing cuts out. But I'd rather that than it cuts off, than cutting off and not being able to reopen. So, like when I try to
anyway,
do
I
my
was
live
just saying,
videos.
remember Rob Schneider cracking stupid jokes through the whole thing? That didn't
Oh
help.
yeah. Oh
Mm.
gosh.
Yeah, it was just bad. Period.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
So, when do you think we could do this again? Me, you,
Oh,
maybe Bronco.
I'd love to. Pretty much. I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays, and
Yeah.
sometimes Thursdays. Then while my daughter's in school, during the day, you know, I go pick her up around like 3:30. So anytime before then, or after. Usually she plays in her room or watches TV or.
Yeah, usually I'm off every other Thursday. My job. So Thursday's pretty good for me. But then we gotta ask Sanko, of course.
Yeah, I'd love for me and Bronco to do something like the Three from the Grave thing that they've got going on. They picked a really good name too, so
it is a cool name.
That is. So we got to think of something. We got
to come up with a cool ass name.
Yeah, we got to think of something like that.
They took 3, so we can't use 3.
Yeah, it can be
unless you use trio or something like
trio. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, the horror trio or something like that. Yeah, I think me, you, and Bronco would be, guys. I think that'd be a fantastic show, like the 3 of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down.
It has loads of potential.
Bring it on.
Yeah, and we could have guests too, like just like a horror hangout. We could have other people join up too sometimes, but
yeah, absolutely.
But
I like doing this live stream stuff.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm loving this. This is the first time I've done anything like this, so.
Yeah, this is the first one, really.
Yeah, this is my first collaboration with another YouTuber. Of course, I have my show that I do with other people that I know in real life, but that I know in person. I mean, but always want to do a collaboration with like a fellow established YouTuber.
Yeah, it's really fun. We have so much fun on our Hangouts, as you'll see this Sunday.
Yes.
Get my plug in there. October 21st, Sunday. Don't miss it. You're going to have Hellhound here from the HorrorMetal channel. We're going to have Lisa Loves, Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies, Dave Baggett, Horrific Nightmares, JM, Horror Digest. And this is going to be our Halloween special. I'm going to talk all about the Halloween franchise, of course. We're going to talk a lot about that. That'd be a major point in our show. And we're going to talk about favorite horror anthologies, TV shows, and movies. So, yeah, don't miss it, guys. October 20th, this Sunday, live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I should say.
So be there. Mark your calendars.
Hell yeah.
It'll be great.
All right. All right, so maybe we better wrap it up before we go too long,
Yeah, I was really glad to be a part of this. Thanks for having me. Sorry I rambled on probably a few times. I went off topic, but I tend to do that.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. You did a great job.
Thank you. This is fun.
So it was a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you for joining me in the Horror Corner. And thank you, Hellhound from the HorrorMetal channel. And hopefully we'll do this again soon. Maybe with Bronco Juggalo, we'll talk.
Can't wait.
And all right, so guys, thanks for joining the live horror stream for the return. Tune in and stay scared. Signing off, guys. Have a good one. Have a good night, and enjoy Halloween 2018, buddy.
You too.
Peace out, brother.